Greetings, everyone. Jamal here. And today is the first training in a series of trainings that we plan to do on your gut and understanding IBS better. The challenge is that many people don't really understand exactly what IBS is. Like we understand the symptoms that we get. Typically, people will experience these challenges, which results in them having to go to the ER or go to see their primary. They run a series of tests, and finally, they get the diagnosis of IBS. And they associate the symptoms of what they have, which can be different for everyone. You could suffer from diarrhea, you could suffer from constipation, or you could suffer from a combination of both that comes with a whole list of other challenges as well. So we know, okay, I have these things, and my doctor is telling me that I have IBS. But when it really comes to understanding IBS, we still don't really understand what it is. We don't understand why it's happening, exactly what is happening. So if you don't really understand that, you don't understand the right level of support that you need, right? So before we could even get into understanding the different types of IBS, the first thing that we need to talk about is your gut microbiome. And once you begin to understand how your gut works, then we can get into other aspects of your colon. So in your gut. So today we are just talking about the understanding of the microbiome. First, I would like to just tell you a little bit about us. I'm Jamal. I am a naturopath and I run this business with my wife Kim. We have been in business for over 20 years. We've been helping people with different aspects of their health for over 20 years. But our specialty, the thing that we focus on, is gut health. And we've helped over 2,000 people to help to bring balance to their guts overall. I am a naturopath. I take a natural approach to helping people to understand their bodies as well as to bring their bodies back into balance. So these challenges that we experience are a result of our bodies being out of balance, right? And when you bring your body back into balance, the challenges that they used to have, the challenges that were there previously, they now go away, right? You reverse the challenges that you're dealing with. And my wife Kim, she is a colon hydrotherapist. She specializes in helping to detoxify uh, the intestines. She's a health practitioner. She understands what it takes to bring balance to your body, and we work together to really help people to find balance and to feel better and to reverse their IBS. I want to start out talking about your digestive system very specifically. So this is a picture of your digestive system from your mouth all the way down to your rectum. This is a very long tube. This tube, if you stretched it all the way out, is actually the length of a tennis court, right? That's how long it is. It's just these bends and turns, and it's all kind of compressed, compacted into your body, but it's actually that long. Here's the deep thing about your digestive tract that people don't know. This tube, right, from your mouth goes inside, it's a tube, and to your anus, from your mouth to your anus, that is actually outside of your body. A lot of people think that when you put something into your mouth, it goes inside of the body, but this is not true. It's outside of your body. Whatever goes into your mouth is actually outside of your body. Your body must properly break down your foods and assimilate the nutrition, and when it assimilates the nutrition, it brings it inside of your body. But until that is done, anything traveling through that tube is on the outside of your body. When your body has waste, it dumps it back into the tube to be eliminated outside of the body. So that's really important to understand, right? Today, we're going to be talking about gut flora. Gut flora is one of the most important things that you need to understand when it comes to your overall health, not just your gut health, your overall health in general. Gut flora is very important to understand, and today we're going to get into talking about the gut microbiome, which is your gut flora. All right, so let's talk about it. About 90% of all cells and genetic material in the body consists of gut flora. You actually have more flora or bacteria in your entire body than you do cells, or they're very close, right? So we have trillions of cells in the body, we have trillions of gut flora in your body, right? So we're talking, not gut flora, trillions of flora in general. So we have, I'll repeat that. We have trillions of cells in our body, and we have trillions of flora in our body. Our entire body is made up of flora, bacteria, the same way it's made of cells. So we're going to talk specifically about gut bacteria, gut flora, right? It's made out of three groups. The first group is essential or beneficial flora. This specific type of flora is what should mostly occupy your gut, right? The most bacteria that you should have is the essential or beneficial gut flora, right? That's what is supposed to populate your system. That's what helps to regulate and keep things into balance. And then you have something called opportunistic gut flora. Those can be in small amounts, but they should not dominate. A lot of times, what you're hearing as opportunistic flora is what people call the bad bacteria. It only turns bad when it gets out of control and you have an overgrowth of this bacteria. But it's really opportunistic flora. And then the next thing is transitional flora. Transitional flora is bacteria and things that don't necessarily live in the body. They're travelers. They're things that pass through. They could pass through something that you ingest. You might, have your hands in your mouth. Put your hand to your mouth. A lot of different reasons why this bacteria will get in, but it will transition through and it will pass through. Now that can turn into a problem if your environment is hospitable for it, but usually we don't have the right conditions, or we shouldn't have the right conditions, and this bacteria will just transition through and it doesn't cause us any necessary problems, right? So let's talk about the roles of gut flora. It's protection from invaders. A lot of people don't know this, but 80% of your immune system is in your gut flora. And outside of, like, inside of your body, right outside of the gut, you have your immune system cells there, right? So 80% of your immune system is in your gut, right? So you have the protection that's there. And it also protects the overall health and integrity of your gut. It supports digestion, so it helps to break things down. It produces enzymes, so it helps to break things down, and it helps your body to properly absorb and produce energy in the body, right? Vitamin production. It can actually manufacture and make vitamins right inside of the gut. So certain vitamins you may need, it has the ability to make them One of those things is B12, right? We hear about B12. B12 is made in your gut, and people usually associate B12 with energy, right? So your gut can directly produce energy in the body. The next thing is detoxification, right? Your gut has the ability, your gut flora, to detoxify your body. And then the next thing is your immune system modulation, right? A lot of people don't know this, but your gut has the ability to make antibiotics right inside of your gut. It can manufacture and make antibiotics to fight things off, right? So gut flora is huge when it's intact and is working the way that it's supposed to. The challenge is that most people's guts aren't working the way that they're supposed to, right? So I want you to look at this picture here. This is a picture of intestinal villi, which are these small hairs that line your gut. They line your intestines. We have a lot of this. People don't realize that it's not just this hollow, empty tube. You have these villi, so it's these hair-like substances that coat your intestines and bacteria, this tube that, starts from the mouth to the anus. We have all of this intestinal lining that is villi, that is bacteria. A lot of people don't realize exactly how much we have. It's like a thick turf, like a thick carpet that runs through the intestines. And the average person carries about 5 pounds of intestinal bacteria. Like that's how much it's coated inside of the intestines, right? So, what happens when your gut wall gets damaged? There's a lack of protection by your beneficial flora. There's an attack by pathogenic microbes and toxins. Enterocytes degenerate, tight junctions open, and I'm going to show you a picture of that in a moment. Foods absorb partially digested, leading to food allergies and intolerances. Damaged gut lets toxins and microbes into the bloodstream, right? General toxicity in the blood and immune system reacts, adding autoimmunity. Right. So if we take a look at this picture here, this is to the left, we have a picture of healthy gut with normal tight junctions. You see on the top, we have mucus, which is a natural part of your immune system. It's a natural protector, right? So mucus is being produced on the intestinal walls, and then you have the good bacteria there, and then you have the food particles. So when the junctions are tight, you see everything goes through its proper channels, it's properly broken down, and it's assimilated properly into your bloodstream. But if we look on the right side, that's when you have faulty tight junctions. This is basically your intestinal lining, and there's weak integrity that is there. The integrity of your intestines is weak. So now what happens, and let's just talk about what that means when you have weak gut integrity. That means that you can have small fractures and holes in your gut. So now things that are supposed to be broken down properly, things that are supposed to be absorbed properly, that only partially happens, right? And that's because we have an overgrowth of bad bacteria and not enough of the good bacteria. And when I say bad bacteria, now the opportunistic bacteria or the opportunistic flora has turned bad, because once it's out of balance, it's bad, right? And when it gets out of control, it impacts the integrity of your gut lining, the integrity of your intestinal lining. So now things can get into your body, they can get on the inside of your body without going through the proper channels, without being processed properly. It's able to actually get into your body And when it's partially digested and when things are getting in, because remember, your first line of defense is that bacteria. So it's certain things where it's saying you just can't get in. You have to be eliminated, right? Or we have to break you down in order to get in. Or we have to create antibiotics to defend against you or to destroy you. This process isn't happening. So now you're getting toxins, you're getting viruses, you're getting these anti-nutrients, you're getting partially digested food directly into the bloodstream, right? And when this happens, you get this immune system response and you get this inflammation in your body. You get inflammation in your gut. You get inflammation in your body overall. And it's only a matter of time before something that gets in looks like something else in your body. Oh, this looks like joint tissue. So now when your body sees the joint tissue, it recognizes that as a foreign invader and it attacks the joint tissue. And now you're looking at an autoimmune uh, challenge called arthritis, right? And it can happen with so many different areas of your body, but that's how it looks when it's out of balance, right? So there are a few things that can lead to a person developing IBS. And this list right here talks about just that journey of your gut being out of balance. For many people, when I sit and assess them, and really start getting into their health history, it's revealed that they've had some level of digestive issues as a child, right? So for most people, this is not something that just happens, it's something that's been allowed. If you have something like constipation, but just to a small degree, this is something that you can experience your entire life, but because it's something that you're used to and you've had as a child, you don't look at it as a big deal. It becomes very normal. But then you have other circumstances that get in place, it progressively gets worse. So it's not always the case. I do see scenarios where it happens as an adult, but I also see scenarios where it develops as a child, right? Because it's the bacteria, and when the bacteria is significantly out of balance, there are a lot of different types of autoimmunity that will show up, right? So, what are some of the things that will throw the bacteria out of balance? Antibiotics, over the counter drugs, and even prescribed drugs that are not antibiotics, such as um, birth control pills, for example. Like all of these things can impact your overall gut health, right? um, and just lifestyle, like a high stress lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of different things that can impact your overall gut health. And once that happens, usually band-aids are used. So if you go to your primary and you have an issue with constipation, they're giving you something for the constipation. If you have diarrhea, they're giving you something for the diarrhea, but you're not truly addressing what's happening in the body. So these issues are allowed to progress. And it's only a matter of time before it shows up as some type of gut challenge or some challenge within the body overall. And in your case, and the reason why you're here is it has developed to IBS. So I wanted to just briefly talk about the gut overall and your microbiome overall, and just really understanding what that is. And then in our next session, we're going to go a little bit deeper and we're going to talk about the different forms of IBS. And then we're going to get into one specific form. All right. So the next training is going to be on IBSD. Hopefully you found this helpful. This is just the beginning of the journey of understanding, and this is getting you a step closer to your healing. And for those who are serious and ready, like if you're at a point where you're really ready to do something about your health, I'm offering free consultations as a gift for everyone that attended this webinar training, as well as the ones who signed up and received the replay on this. So there will be a link provided. There's a link in the chat, and also if you're watching the replay, there'll be a link in the email to sign an application for a free consultation. And in this consultation, I'm going to assess what type of IBS you have and the type of support that you need, how we might be able to help you. And if we're able to help you, then we can discuss it and take it from there. All right. So thanks for joining. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Or if you're watching the replay, if you have any questions, you can send us an email and we'll take the conversation from there. All right, everyone. Take care.